Hello and welcome to another episode. I am Sean Calhoun
And I'm Christina Calhoun.
and we are with Pretty Home Realty. And today we're going to continue in our series answering the question, are we in a housing crisis today? Are we in a housing crisis? So we're going to get right into it. Before we do though, we had a few other episodes and we explained a few things that are really important. Now, if you're picking up today, I want you to check it out. I'm sure it's going to be informative, but there are a few other reasons. We're kind of building a total case. We want you to get an overall picture. But today we're talking about the fifth reason out of our six reasons that we believe that we are currently not in a housing crisis. So we touched on it a little bit yesterday, but we're developing a little bit different. What are we talking about today?
So, yesterday we mentioned getting equity pulled out of your house. But today we're going to look at the overall equity in America.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people want to know, what is home equity and how can it be over leveraged?
Mhm.
So, let's start with the first part about what home equity is.
Mhm.
This is the real property value, like what your house would sell for if you were to sell it today. What is the fair market value minus what's owed on the property? Any kind of liens,
Okay.
your mortgage, or if you had a construction loan for new windows, things like that. So that's what equity is.
Okay.
It's the value, the fair market value of the property if you sold it today minus what's owed.
Okay. That sounds good. So that's the fair market value. So should we give like a explanation of that?
Like a calculation?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do that. So for example, let's just say, pull up my calculator really quickly, clear that out. All right, so let's say you bought a home for $525,000, right? So you bought a home for $525,000, and how much did we say we put down?
$250,000.
Okay, so we're going to subtract $250,000 from that, right? Pretty simple. And that equals $275. So right now your debt or your lien of how much you owe on your mortgage is $275. Mm-hmm. But now say this is a beautiful new construction home and your landscaping, your neighbors kind of give you the funny look now. You need to get your landscaping done, right? So we're gonna add $25,000 for landscaping, right? Now the place is looking good. $300,000 is what you now owe. Okay. Now that's your total liens. Now, what could you sell your home for today? What is now the fair market value with your new home, all your landscaping? Let's just say that value it's now 600,000. So we're going to go 600,000. That's your fair market value. So to see what your equity is, we're going to subtract how much you owe. So minus 300,000. So we got 600 minus the 300 is 300,000 in equity, which is roughly or exactly 50%. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's how you calculate your equity.
Right. So now that we know what the equity is, how can it be over leveraged? Over leveraging occurs when the amount of your home liens, what you owe, mm-hmm. exceeds the fair market value.
So example, if my house, let's see, it's worth 600,000, but I owe
650.
650,
right? Then you're upside down in your mortgage because it's worth less than what you owe.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then if we look back at the last housing market crisis, equity overall in America back then it was over leveraged. People were pulling out a lot of money from their home, and the house didn't have much equity. So this led people to walking away. They're like, oh, I'm upside down. This house isn't worth what I owe.
It's not worth paying it. And it was large amounts, like $50,000 under that. Nobody wants to be under at all, but it was dramatically like their home, they're owed $1 million and their house is worth 650. You can't sell that.
Right.
You're negative.
Right. And that led to a lot of short sales because the house wasn't worth what was owed, things like that. But then if we come to today, even with this COVID-19 pandemic, we can see that we have a chart here. This is from Bloomberg. Make sure you can see that. And also Adam Real Estate Data. 53.8% of all the homes in America have at least 50% equity. So they're not going to walk away from that if they have that much equity in their house. And then looking here,
from Bloomberg,
37% of all homes are owned free and clear. They don't even have a mortgage on it. And of the ones that do have a mortgage, 26.7% have at least that 50% equity. So a big difference.
They're not walking away from that.
Yeah, big difference.
So again, this is our 5th reason why we believe that right now we're not in a housing crisis. I mean, that's pretty strong if you have a house. If it's paid off or it's halfway paid off, you're normally not walking away. And if you can sell it, you're going to have some money. You're probably going to turn around and buy another property that you can't afford. So again, that's the reason. And then there is another reason. Now, I think we were in 5 or 6. So for the 6th reason,
tune in tomorrow.
Tune in tomorrow. We will see you then. And please share this. If you've got some value from it, let us know. And if you were thinking about selling your home and you want to know what the implications are for this information of what we're talking about today, go ahead and send us a private message or reach out to us. You can find us on prettyhm.com. You can also see our reviews and other things there, okay? But until then, we'll see you. And what's that time again?
1 o'clock.
Eastern
tomorrow.
Standard Time. All right.
Thank you, Yolanda, Millie, and Matthew for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.